So now we're on the exterior. You can start here if you would like. Your contractor will need these materials before most others, and most people do have a pretty good vision of the outside by this point, and there really aren't that many options compared to the interior. You will need to select the style and color of your siding and trim, your roof, the windows, the exterior door, garage doors, and any accent that you are adding, like stone, columns, or gables. Most likely your contractor will send you to wherever he or she ultimately wants to buy the products from, typically a lumber yard or a building supply. Most of these showrooms will carry all of the exterior materials in one place. A lot of individual providers do have visualization tools on their website, so once you know what brand you are going to use, check out their website. Take siding for example. A lot of the companies have an option on their site where you can pick a home similar to yours and play around with the exterior colors and trim. It's a nice, free way to play around with your options and better visualize what it will look like. Siding. I would highly recommend finding inspiration images before shopping, something as close as possible to what you want. Not always, but typically, it is men who are running these showrooms, and it's less about design and more about function. Like your contractor, they are there to give you what you want, not necessarily design with you. I had to go round and round with this guy at a lumber yard about why we would use 3 colors of siding. He thought it was just crazy that we wanted a main siding color, an accent siding color, and a trim color. It was a big house and it had lots of peaks and different planes. And it turned out fabulous, and now he recommends it to everyone. On that note, think about accent siding too. Do you want to add shakes or a different texture to areas? Think roof peaks and accent areas. It is definitely becoming more common that people play around with the exterior finishes, switching up directions, textures, and materials. There are less exterior options, but you can still be creative with how you use them. Trim. I am talking about the trim around your windows and doors, any accents around the roof line, the exterior and interior corners of the house, kind of how you want to frame the house. Again, I would highly recommend finding inspiration images or driving around neighborhoods and pay attention. Take pictures of what you like. These are details that people don't really think about, but they really change the look of your house. And if you get them wrong, they are very obvious. Windows. Windows are a big decision. Functionally, they are a large part of your shell, obviously, and they keep out the weather and keep your temperature inside where you want it. After that, there are things to think about. Do they operate? Are you focusing on a certain view, or do you need privacy from neighbors? Are they wood, vinyl, metal, or fiberglass? And what color? Inside and outside can be different materials and different colors, and not every window comes in every color. So if you have a color other than white or wood, start with the color because that will narrow your choices down right away. If you have a unique size or add-on that you want, that's another place to start. Not every window can be custom sized. Some companies provide blinds between the glass and others don't. The operating hardware is different, and the grill patterns, and whether they are between or on top of the glass. Sometimes it's the little things that help you make those larger decisions. Once you make your selection, make sure you order your windows significantly earlier than you think. They are notoriously backordered and can seriously hold up a project. A lot of things have to wait until this shell of your home is sealed, and you definitely need windows for that. They are also one of the items more likely to be damaged in shipping, so allow time for that and make sure someone checks the order as soon as it is received. I have seen windows need to be reordered 3 or more times, way too often. And windows are not something that you change frequently, so buy the best option that you can afford. It's a lot of work to upgrade these later. Window sills. This is a little detail that often gets forgotten, but you will need to select a material for the sill, or the bottom part of the window trim. Sometimes it's wood to match your trim, but you can have some fun here. Solid surfacing and quartz are nice. The moisture does not bother them, but they are more expensive. And laminate can be used, but the pooling water can quickly ruin these. Pooling water, you say? Why would I have water on my windowsills in a brand new home? Condensation will happen no matter how good your windows are, and it depends on the humidity level in your home. It collects on the windows and it drips down and it hangs out on your sill. If you use wood or laminate as your sill and want it to stay nice, get in the habit of wiping these sills down regularly in the winter. It's a little trick that I learned from my grandma, and it does work. Most people won't do this, but it will make them last so much longer. Roof. Your roof is a very large visual part of your exterior, yet most people do not think about it. Combining materials has become popular, especially as steel roofs become more mainstream, and that's a nice way to break up an otherwise large monotone expanse. If you are going super regular, you still do have to pick the color of your roof. And if you plan to use the attic for anything, make sure that is noted on your plan. Lining it with plywood and giving it an accent hatch is not a big deal and could potentially add a lot of storage space, especially when every inch counts. Accents. Wood beams, stone, and columns, and any other exterior accent material can really dress up the exterior of the house. I hate driving by a beautiful house that has piddly little 4x4s holding up an overhang. It looks ridiculous, like toothpicks holding up this super heavy roof. Use accents that match the scale of your home. If you have a big, heavy looking house, use large accents. Wrap those 4x4s in wood so that they look like 8x8 columns, and use a larger, more organic stone size. Especially with the exterior, think big and bold. Make a few impactful statements and leave it at that. Big columns and a gable, or a large stone accent, maybe interesting lighting. You don't have to do everything, just make what you do impactful and fabulous. Let's talk about exterior stone. You can select real stone or manufactured. Manufactured stone, veneer stone, architectural stone, and cultured stone are all generally the same product. It's a man-made product meant to look like natural stone. It usually comes in sheets and it fits together in a very orderly fashion. It's very linear and easy to install. It has a nice look and it brings in new texture, which I love, and this is enough for most people and spaces. But if you love the look of natural stone, this is not it. Natural stone is installed by a masonry contractor and is installed the old-fashioned way. Mortar on your structure and puzzle piece fit together. It's assembled on site by people who are more stone artists than installers. You don't know exactly what you're getting until it's done, and it's very permanent. It's a natural work of art with size and color variation throughout the stone and the way it's installed. This has a more natural, organic look to it, but it's significantly more expensive, and you need a specialty installer. If you want to go this route, it is great, but make sure you are really committed to the idea. Both stones can be applied inside and out. I really like to have an indoor-outdoor kind of feel using the same materials in both areas, but again, that is just a personal preference. I also like the look of enhanced stone, which means a finish is applied that soaks into the stone and gives it a richer, more wet look. If you took a damp cloth and wiped it across the stone, that is what enhanced would look like. Without it, the stone is lighter in color and kind of dusty looking. Not everyone does this, and again, it's a personal preference, but it's worth asking your installer about if you are interested. Exterior doors. Your exterior door does not get installed until the end of the project. Typically, a dummy door is installed first, just a basic stock door that takes the abuse of the construction materials coming in and out of your home throughout this process. When that is all done, then the real exterior door goes in. If you are ordering a custom-made exterior door, you still need to order it way ahead of time, as they typically have a long lead time. If you are going with a stock option, it's not such a big deal. Garage doors. I hate the lack of options in garage doors, and I really feel like this is a missed opportunity for design. Your garage door is a large part of the exterior of your home typically, and if you are looking at the stock options, there just isn't a lot of variety. And when you start customizing them, they get expensive fast. This is one of the more frustrating selections for me just because of the lack of options. And who knows, maybe I will change that someday. But For now, all you can really do is work through the catalog options. It's pretty simple in that way, simple and unsatisfying. Windows and garage doors, some amount of natural light is really nice in a garage, so it doesn't become a cave. If you have actual windows in the space, then you don't need them in the garage door. And if privacy is a concern, you can get them frosted, but the natural light is worth it. And that's the exterior. It's still a lot to think about, but it really is small potatoes when you compare it to all the interior options, in my opinion. So do the work ahead of time, finding inspiration, and this selection process should go pretty smoothly.